Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. How are you all doing? I am in the home office today. This is another day that I didn't leave the house very much, just for a little bit, but not too much today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. I scared myself this morning thinking it was Friday, and I slept in and didn't go to the store, and I have a meeting, not a meeting, I have a family coming to the store tomorrow. They're coming from about an hour and a half away, and I scared myself thinking I slept in and missed them until I realized it was actually just Thursday. So tomorrow I will be at the store, so if you're in Johnstown, please feel free to stop by. Come up and make some stuff with us. That'll be fun. Susie is here. Donna is here. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining in. It has been a busy day. I did sleep in a little bit today, which felt good. I haven't done that in a while. At least not too, sometimes I do, but it's usually because I've been up so late. I got to bed pretty late last night still, but a little bit earlier than my 4 or 5 a.m. time. So it felt like I slept in more than I did. The cat slept in with me, which was nice. They were cuddling with me. I had 4 out of the 5 of them in the bed with me at one point last night. So that was pretty cute. But yeah, I've been working on pricing all this new vintage stuff. Today we have a lot of, what do we have a lot of? Vintage plastic. We do have some vintage glass today and some vintage wooden beads. And I think you're really going to like them. I think they're really cool. Yeah, I hope so anyway. I hope you like vintage plastic, vintage glass, and vintage wood. Lots of great beads. I think mostly beads today. I do have some S-word sew-on beads coming up today too. That's a hard thing to advertise because you can't actually use the name, but the S-word sew-on beads are going to be coming up today, and I think we got really good prices on those as well. And yeah, most of the vintage plastic today, I am giving you all a little bit extra than what I would put on strands at the store. So you're getting a little bit of a bonus with each purchase, with each lot of those that you purchase. There's at least 2 or 3 extra beads in there that would not be on a vintage plastic strand that we sell at the store for the same price. So, and on the website. So I wanted to do that for y'all today as a little bonus. Yeah, I had a good time yesterday. I'm glad that so many people joined us yesterday. It was really interesting to me, I guess is the word, surprising. We had a bunch of people joining in yesterday on Wednesday, which we started later, and it was our slow day. Wednesday's normally our slow day, and we had a 20-some people joining us, which for us all at once is a really great thing. So thank you all for joining. Please hit that like, hit that share, give us those thumbs ups, give us those hearts. It really does help the algorithms whenever you do that. The more of those that we see, the more views we generally see on the videos. So whenever we see a lot of people giving thumbs ups on YouTube, and doing the heart emoji and the thumbs up emoji on Facebook, we do see the views seem to go up on those videos. So there's kind of a loose correlation there between y'all giving those things and more people watching the videos. It could also be because when more people are active, they're sharing more too. So that could be too, but we do appreciate all the shares. We don't pay, you know, a lot in ads. Every once in a while we run some ads on some things. We're not right now, we can't really do that. So we do appreciate the word of mouth and letting people know and sending, you know, people over to us. We really do appreciate that. Let's see here. Donna was doing fine. Let's see. Until I got home after I finished my lunch, my daughter texted me to tell me that our high school principal passed away from cancer at the age of 60. I live in a small, tight-knit community, so this hit us hard. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. It's hard when that kind of thing happens. And that's probably somebody, I don't know how long he was principal. I know our principals at our schools generally are there for quite a long time, and they go through many, many, many years of classes. Um, so, because I grew up in a small community too, and this is still a small community here, but I'm out kind of more on the outskirts of that kind of thing because we don't have kids in school and whatnot. But um, yeah, growing up, our high school principal and elementary principal, they were very, they've been there for quite a while. So I know that's hard. So how's everyone else doing? I hope you're all hanging out and hanging in there. It is cold today. I can feel the cold come through the house a lot. It's chilly. I took Barnaby out a little bit. He was crying and crying and crying. He has not gotten to go out very much because it has been cold, and I've been keeping him in, and I've not been going out much. And so he cried and cried and cried today. So I let him out, and we went out and we ate a little bit of the grass that we found. There's a special type of grass that he likes. And I don't know what kind of grass it is. But Babette, when she was alive, she found this grass. She would go all the way out to the end. I mean, it's not all the way, but for her, that was a long way for her because she didn't venture too far out most of the time. But she went all the way out to the end of the driveway, and there was a clump of dirt that we had pulled out of somewhere. And it was sitting on the cement in our driveway, and this grass was still growing in it. And she would go out there, and she knew it was out there, and she would go and eat that grass. So she trained me to know that that was safe grass for them. So now I know what kind of grass that is safe for them, because we have other grasses that are not so safe. Like there are bulbs out there, and all that stuff is generally related to like garlic. There are certain grasses that aren't really great for them. So she showed me which ones were safe to eat for her. And so then now I know Barnaby, and I go and sometimes I harvest it for him. And other times he likes to go out and get some, but I usually help him find it because he likes, of course, the green stuff. And amazingly, there's still some green grasses growing around here. It's pretty hardy, but I've tried to grow it in captivity and I cannot. I've tried to grow it and 2 or 3 different times, and it has died every single time I've tried. But it will survive the winter. It grows close to the house, so it's kind of under the siding a little bit. Like our house siding comes down so far, then there's the brick that you can see a little bit of the basement foundation, and so it underneath that little lip, it grows in there and it stays green. And so I pick some of that for him and help him find it. Because he will try and eat other things, and I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't like them to be too experimental because we do have some things that they shouldn't eat probably growing in there. Anyway, we went out and did that today. And Gilbert came out for a little while with us. And Gertie snuck out onto the porch. Even though she's not allowed to sneak out on the porch, she snuck out. I was holding the door open for Gilbert to come out, and she torpedoed like a little rocket out that door onto the back porch. Now, she doesn't really go far, so it's easy to catch her, thankfully. But she makes these cutest little grunting sounds, like high-pitched little grunting sounds when she's outside. So because sometimes when I get the mail, she'll dive out onto the front porch too. But it's like she knows she's not supposed to be there, but she's so excited to be out there, and she makes all these cute little noises. So she went out on the porch today, and I had to grab her because she started going down the sidewalk, and I was like, you are too little, and you are not, you don't know this terrain enough to be going out on the sidewalk. So I grabbed her from the sidewalk, and I held her for a little bit so she could stay out there and be out she was doing her winding. They smell the air. And then she had to go back in because she can't get used to that. She's not allowed yet. Norma says it feels bitter cold today, colder than the actual 28, I think because it's so damp. We're looking at serious rainfall in the next couple days, possibly up to 6 inches on Sunday. Yeah, I saw something about rain. Oh, now there's a flood watch. I tried to look for it earlier and it said nothing. And now there's a flood watch tonight until 10 p.m. There was nothing before. Yeah, so I guess on Saturday we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain. Although it's not giving me any other flood watches other than for today. Started, apparently it's, no. Okay, so the flood watch says until 10 p.m., but it's really not until 7 a.m. on the 15th, which is Saturday. These computers these days, things are getting wild. Yeah, because it says flood watch until 10 p.m., but when I click on it, it's for the 15th. 10 p.m. on the 15th, I guess. So yes, potential for 1.5 to 2 inches of rain on Saturday into Sunday. So definitely not up to 6 inches here. 1 to 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches, which is, that's fine. We'll just stay with that. We'll stay with that. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Lydia. Looks like you are out on Instagram. I don't know if there's anyone still watching out on Instagram, but I hope you're all doing well, and I hope everyone out there is doing well. Yeah, it's I hope you like today's show. I love vintage plastic, especially the good stuff, and a lot of this is the good stuff. There's some really fun things, tonight. Some really cool colors, different shapes. Like I said, there's some S words, sew-on beads, if you like sew-on beads, but they can be used in different ways. These ones are set up in that I think they could even be dangles or charms or pendants, or from earrings. I think they could be cool for y'all. Trying to look, like I said, wooden beads, a lot of wooden kind of disc, saucer heshy kind of thing beads. So I think those are going to be fun for y'all to play with too. Let's see here. Donna says, we had 6.5 inches from Tuesday and yesterday. It's cold here again, and we have more storms coming Saturday night into Sunday. Norma says, flooding expected all over Kentucky. Although I'm not in a flood zone, the roads do get bad with ponding, though, and the low spot in my front yard can become a small pond. I remember those days. We had in our backyard, we lived by a lake growing up, and in our backyard, there was a place that would just become this massive, like little mini pond. And it was not fun because it like never dried out. It almost never dried out. No matter how dry it was in the summer, it always stayed wet right there. Hello, Amanda says, I shoveled my way out. I'm alive. How much snow did you get, Amanda? I know you were talking about up to like 16 inches. So how much did you end up getting? Charlie said, hello, I keep falling asleep early from being sick. Oh no, Charlie, you're like always sick. What's going on? I feel like every time we talk to you, something's going on. Cindy says, gotta balance in and out. My niece just got here. Nice. Have fun with her. That's cute. I know you like to hang out with her. Yeah, so that is... There's not a ton going on here other than my normal basic day. I feel like I'm getting so boring. Without Andrew here, it's like, what am I doing today? I did the same thing I do every day. Try to take over the world, right? If you get that reference. But yeah, that's pretty much what I feel like. Yeah, it's just the same. My day is the same almost every day. I forgot to go out and get groceries today. So I told myself in the morning that I had to do that. And then throughout the day, I got wrapped up in things. I was doing some vacuuming and some stuff, some dishes, and I totally forgot to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to miss the grocery store today. But yeah. So I got to run out early morning tomorrow and get cat food, most likely, because I have enough for tonight. They've been slowing down on their food though, so I probably have enough for tonight and tomorrow, but I will definitely need to run out tomorrow on the way home from work and get some. And yeah, that's mostly what it is. That's when I say I need groceries, it's pretty much usually cat food. I eat very little. I made a huge thing of stir fry last night, so I have that left. I have that left. I have lots of that left. I may have to make more rice, but I have lots of the stir fry. So that's going to be my night, and what I'm going to eat tonight. Charlie says, I seem to get sick when I return from my trips. Yeah, every time. On the creative make-along, you were sick. Now again, you're sick. Charlie says, Pinky in the brain. Yep, Pinky in the brain. What are we going to do tonight, brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Anne says, oh, hello, Anne. Says, the pill shooter with Daniel was a fiasco, but I'm 90% sure he finally got the pill down. He's happy because he got a whole churro treat. Oh, my. I'm sorry to hear that. I thought it would be easier for you with the pill shooter, but I'm sorry to hear that it was not any easier. Yeah, it did make it easy for us with Paolo. I think Paolo and Barnaby used it, the pill shooter. Charlie says, I hope I can stay awake for the so-ons. I think they are later in the show too. I think they're maybe midway through the show, so hopefully you can. Susie is here. Hello, Susie. Let's see. Amanda got only 10 inches, but 10 more inches on Saturday, apparently. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Anna, hello, Anna says, oh, Daniel Tiger. I know. Susan just joined us. Hello, Susan. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, we are having a good time. We've got new vintage things for you today. It feels weird saying new vintage, but they are new. Unused vintage components for you all. That's generally what we sell when we do vintage, unused, but I like to make that clear for anybody who may be new. Amanda says, the snowbanks are taller than me and I'm 5'5". Oh my goodness. I remember when we were kids and we would have to, plow the snow and stuff or shovel the snow and they would become taller than us. That has not happened here in quite some time. And I'm okay with that. That much snow, a little bit too much. I kind of like these mild winters we've been having. They're kind of like an elongated fall, just colder and drearier. So not really like fall at all. But this winter has been harder. This winter has definitely been harder. I don't want to see, I don't want to see the gas bills. I don't want to see the electric bills. It's definitely been a harder winter for sure. So what are you all eating tonight? Have any good food talk for me today? Because I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for a snack midday, actually just a little bit ago. So, yeah, it's kind of like midday for me, just about an hour ago or so. And then I had oatmeal with some syrup. I put maple syrup in my oatmeal. I like it that way. So I had that for breakfast. And then I'm going to have stir fry tonight. I made stir fry with carrots and onions. I know some of you don't like the onions. We talked about that the other day. But I put lots of onions in there and celery and carrots and bell peppers, some a red pepper, a yellow pepper. What else did I put in there? Mushrooms, some shiitake and some cremini mushrooms, and some broccoli, and some water chestnuts, and I feel like there's something else I'm missing, but that was about it. And then I made a sauce with soy sauce and rice wine vinegar and some other stuff and thickened it up, and it's pretty good. It was not, I thought it was going to be saltier because normally when I make it a little bit salty, and I like that, but this one was not as salty. So I might have to do some. I might have to doctor it up a little bit tonight. I shouldn't have too much salt, and I probably should just leave it alone, honestly. But sometimes I like it a little bit salty. You think all that soy sauce I put in would make it really salty, but it doesn't always, because I do end up evening it out with other things. Amanda says it's a bit much. I was okay with what we had a month ago. It has snowed almost every day. That's too much snow. Anne says, I had an egg sandwich that Daniel tried to steal. He did get a bite of the egg. That's cute. My cats don't really like eggs. I've tried, like I've cooked eggs for them, and they don't really want anything to do with eggs, um, which seems strange because most cats, when you hear people talk, they like the eggs. But I've never had a cat. Paolo and Babette didn't eat them. Barnaby and Gilbert don't eat eggs, and now the girls don't really want to have anything to do with eggs. Um, so I don't know. I don't know, but that's cute. At least he got a little bite. Um, yeah, that's sweet. Norma had meatloaf with mushroom and onion gravy and herbed baby potatoes. Oh, that sounds delightful. I do miss a good meatloaf. My grandmother, she used to make a good meatloaf, and she used to do this thing. It always thrilled us as kids. She would do a hard-boiled egg inside the meatloaf. So she would hide a hard-boiled egg inside the meatloaf. So when you sliced it, you get a little piece of egg in there too. Um, it was just an egg, but it was the coolest thing for us as kids. Um, and my mom always made a really good meatloaf too. I do miss meatloaf. It's not the same vegetarian, I will say. Andrew does make a really good fake meat patty and things, and he has done meatloaf before, and it's good. Um, it's actually really good, but it's never the same anytime because he doesn't use recipes, so it's always a little different. But I do sometimes miss just that real meatloaf, especially with baby potatoes. I do eat I love baby potatoes and a mushroom gravy. Good stuff. Amanda had lemon chicken orzo soup with a bun for lunch, and dinner made mushroom and chicken stroganoff with German noodles. You go like all out, I feel like. Every time you make your meals, it's like a big meal. That sounds like a big meal to me, and that's delightful. Your family eats very well. Um, they're very lucky. Let's see here. Susan says, I had a hair appointment today, so we had veggie sandwiches at the Subway next door. Veggie Delights, right? The Veggie Delight. Then we did our weekly shopping. Nice. We love the Veggie Delights sandwiches. I usually get them on the Parmesan and I can't think of the bread they use now. Herb crusted or Parmesan and herb or something, and herb and cheese. I don't know if even they do that same bread. It's been a while since I've been to Subway. That's usually the bread we put them on, and then with this sweet onion dressing. I love the sweet onion dressing, and I usually put mayo on mine too. A little extra mayo, sweet onion, usually with provolone. Good stuff. Andrew doesn't usually like the extra mayo. It's too messy that way. And says I should say he stole a bite of the egg. He's not partial. He'll try to steal most things. Yeah. Gertie's a little bit. Some of the girls are like Gertie, especially. She will get up in my food sometimes. She's getting better about it. But Barnaby, he also he does sometimes. If he smells something he thinks he really wants, because we often eat on the couch at watching TV, and he'll sit with me. He's usually always there when I have food, so he's always like trying to smell up on my plate and see what's there. And he knows that if it's something that is like not touched, like onion or garlic, because that's bad for cats. And if it's something that hasn't touched spices or something that might be bad for them, he'll usually get a little bit. If it's a piece of cheese from a sandwich or a taco or something we're making, he'll get it. He knows. He knows I'm pushover daddy, as Andrew says. Amanda says, my gray kitty licked at the yolk of my soft-boiled eggs the only time she'd jump up on the table. Really? See, yeah, our cats don't like eggs. I've tried because I always used to think I'm like, this should be pretty good for cats, right? It should be pure protein, and we don't have meat in the house generally, of course, other than cat food. But to give them like a little extra bonus, I thought I'd treat them to some eggs sometimes. So I'll cook up some eggs and try to give it to them. They just sit around. They just sit around till I throw them out. I don't get it. Donna says, OMG, my grandmother made the best meatloaf. Yeah, grandmothers were good at that, right? Good at making the meatloaf. Susan says, it is frigid cold here, but sunny. Definitely having a true winter this year. It is a true winter. you're right. But it was cloudy here today and it was cold. It says 30 or 31. It said the high was 44 today. I did not feel like it was 44 when I went out there. I went out kind of midday when it would have probably been around the warmest, to take Barnaby for a little walk. And it did not feel like 44. It didn't feel like 33, 31 either. It was cold. It was cold out there. I wish it'd been sunny. I try and go out, even if I don't leave the house very much. When it's sunny, I try to go out and get some sun just to, and I was very anxious today, and I don't know why. My anxiety was ramped up on full alert today. I have no idea why. It's just one of those times that, if you suffer from anxiety or depression, sometimes you don't know why it's happening. But today, it was just like extraordinarily nervous today. And so I'm hoping everything out there in my world is okay. Sometimes I feel like that happens when things are going wrong, but I think that's also my anxiety, just, connecting the dots on things that aren't maybe there. But yeah, I was so anxious today. I'm still very anxious. I'm talking a lot probably so that I don't think about my anxiety. And that's why it is nice to do these lives. These lives are not easy doing them every day, but it is a nice time that I get to chat with people and hang out with you all. And it does really help keep me calmer by doing these. They're a lot of work, like I said. But they're also one of the biggest ways that we stay in business. So we're so appreciative of it. And it's like a good thing all around. It gives us things to do, keeps us in business. It gets to talk with all of our friends out there, all of you hanging out. It gets my mind off of my anxiety for a few hours, usually. Sometimes it's so strong that you can probably tell it's in the back, something's in the back of my mind, but I hope not too often because I try not to do that. Charlie says I had corned beef, potatoes, and cabbage. That's a good meal too. That reminds me of cabbage, potatoes and cabbage. My grandmother used to make a meal she called Depression dinner, and it came from when they were going through the Depression. She would, I guess, boil cabbage, potatoes, carrots. And she would put kielbasa in, which I'm sure was not part of the Depression dinner, and hot dogs. And that's probably more for the kids. But it used to just be, I think, boiled cabbage, potatoes, and carrots, and big chunks of it. Like the carrots were still like mostly whole. And they were usually about like this long. Sometimes she cut them in half. And the cabbage was in big chunks of cabbage. Like she just cut a cabbage in sixth or something. I guess she would boil it. I don't actually know. And you would think that would not taste good, but it was one of my favorite meals. She always made it taste good. And I don't know if she used a broth. I don't know if she just salted it well. I never really asked growing up. I just loved when we had it. And maybe from some of the meat in there also helped flavor things. I don't know. She didn't have a pressure cooker, so it wasn't pressure cooked, but I think she boiled it. I need to talk to my mom or my aunt who might know how she did it, because I loved it. We would put ketchup over everything then, which seems strange probably, but we would, because you put the ketchup on the meat, you put the ketchup on everything and you just eat it all together. And I loved it growing up. So I would like to figure out how she made it so that I can maybe recreate it with some veggie meats or veggie kielbasa and stuff too. Donna says I had to quit eating beef because it's way too expensive. I don't know what the prices of things are out there, but I can't imagine that it isn't expensive. Everything seems to be expensive right now. And says, I feel like it's not as cold or snowy in Wisconsin this winter. Really? That's interesting. Weather patterns changing to hit other places instead, right? That's good, I guess. Good for you, right? Hopefully, unless you like the cold and the snow, then that's terrible. But my guess is it's probably okay with you. Amanda says, I go through phases where I like to cook a lot. You seem to always be cooking. Every time you come on here, you must be in a phase because your dinners always sound really good. Um, Anne says, that's cute, Amanda. There is a cat I follow on Instagram who likes to lick graham crackers. That's cute. Did you see that story about the cat who carries around the almond? That is so dang cute. The almond is like its friend, but then it'll attack it and it'll play with it. And they've given this cat so many almonds over the years. But it carries it around in its mouth like everywhere it goes. It's so cute. I don't know if almonds are good for cats. I never really looked that up. But this cat loves the almond. It doesn't really eat it. I think it just loses it, and it needs to replace it. And it says, I really miss having a cat. We would miss having cats. I don't know that we could be without cats. As hard as it is to lose them when they go, and it is, who is it? But I don't think we could be without them. I don't think I'd want to be without a cat or a few cats. Susan had multi-grain bread, just oil and vinegar with salt and pepper. That sounds good too. I love oil and vinegar on stuff. I really do. And the multi-grain bread is good too. That's usually, if they're out of the other, that's usually my choice too. Susan says, our cats always look at us like, you eat that? Ew, right? Ours do too. Amanda says, most things I make aren't too involved. I toned down from some more of the involved things I used to make. Your things always sound like I don't know. I guess if you're toning down, any bit is less involved for you, but they sound pretty, I don't know. Maybe they're not, but they sound good. And it says, one of my sister's cats scratches next to my sister to show she doesn't want any of my sister's. Wait, one of my sister's cats scratches next to my sister to show she doesn't want any of my sister's food. That's cute. That's cute too. Amanda says, our schools were closed today and the postal service was also shut down. Wow. Susan says, it was very windy today. Yes, it was. The wind was howling. Like I could hear it and I could feel the wind come through the house. That's why I think the house is so cold. I mean, the house is keeping temperature, but when it keeps temperature and you've got the wind blowing through, it feels cold. And says, our winter here in central Wisconsin has been so mild comparatively. Wow. Yes, that's good. And it says, the universe is keeping you safe. I don't know. My anxiety can't, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to think that. But I don't know why. We can't find another way to keep me safe. Like, just keep this stuff away from me so I don't have to worry about it. Then that's keeping me safe, right? Anna says, LOL, when I'm anxious, I have a hard time not speaking too much or too fast. Yes. When my anxiety kicks up, everything speeds up. And I've tried to explain this to Andrew and other people. When my anxiety is going, I get very clumsy. I get very forgetful. I get tripped up on my words a lot of times because my brain is constantly worrying so much about so many things and it's going so fast that my whole body wants to speed up. Like my breathing speeds up and gets fast, which is not good for you when you have anxiety, that hyperventilating kind of thing. But your heart starts to race, your whole body wants to speed up. And so when I'm very anxious, I'm like running to do things and I'm not keeping a track of like what I'm doing. So I'll rush to the door to leave. I'll trip on things going out. I won't see, like, it's like you don't even see, like, I'll bump into things a lot even. I bump into the corner of the office here, like going out the door, because there's a corner before the door, and I'll run into that, like with my shoulder, because I'm like, in my brain, I have to be out the door and down the stairs, and I'm not even where I am anymore. And I don't know if that makes any sense. If you have anxiety, maybe you're the same way. I know everybody's different, but yeah, my speaking gets faster because I often feel like that I have to get stuff out or I will forget it because my brain has already processed it and has moved past it and I'm still trying to talk about it, whatever it is, or I'm trying to keep concentrated on it and I have that thought about it and I have to get it out before my brain skips me to something else. If I'm very anxious, I have a hard time keeping up with conversations because I can't think of what I'm trying to worry about and listen to someone else at the same time. It's really hard. Um, that's why, when I'm very anxious, it's nice when people come into the store when I'm there, because it can take me out of that at least. And normally when I'm with a customer and I'm showing them things and we're talking about things, it can get me to slow down and kind of sometimes come out of that. Um, but yeah, when I'm by myself a lot, it's harder. It's much harder. Um, so that's, yeah, speaking too fast, speaking too much, just trying to keep it's the speaking too much because you're trying to talk yourself out of it in some ways. Like you're trying to talk so much that you start thinking about something else instead of what you're worrying about. It's not easy. Susan said, William, it's the state of the world. Yeah, I did make the mistake of reading some news today, and I started getting fired up about things in my brain. And reading comment sections, I should know better than to read the comment section of anything these days. But even the most mundane things, the comments get me riled up these days. So that was definitely part of it. I did early in the day, I made the mistake of reading some news. I should not have done that. Amanda said, there's so much going on. It's not easy keeping calm all the time. No, it's not easy keeping calm some of the time. I'm lucky if I keep calm some of the time. I am happy for just some of the time, let alone most of the time, let alone all of the time. But yeah, the last few days have been a little anxious for me, anxiety ridden. This one just was like, whoa. But I also didn't like the last few nights I've been trying to have a calm down ritual, and I've been doing a little bit of meditating. I've been drinking some Tulsi holy basil tea with usually some licorice tea in there, or a chamomile tea mixed in with it, and just kind of trying to have watching a TV episode that's calming or not so wild, and doing a little bit of reading sometimes. And yesterday I kind of didn't do that. I didn't have my tea. I watched some TV, but I went right to bed, and I was going to sleep in the other room because the cats have been kind of pushing me out of the bed a little bit. They're not pushing me out of the bed. They're piling kind of on top of me, and I can't, it's very difficult to move. I love them, but sometimes it's really difficult to move in the middle of the night. So I end up sleeping in one position and waking up very sore. And so I got in the other room. I was going to sleep in the guest room last night, and then I was like, I don't want to sleep away from my cats, though. I like their company. So I went back into the bedroom, and it's like they knew, because they all, like, there were 3 or 4 of them. 3 of them came in at least. Another one came in later. The 3 of them sat all around me, but they did not like pile on top of me or pull down the covers on top of, like sometimes they put like tent me in, and they didn't do that. It's like they knew. So that was really sweet, actually, and I slept pretty well last night. So that helped at least, but I didn't have my wind down ritual that I've been trying to do, and I think that threw me off. And I also didn't get a few things done that I thought I was going to do and wanted to do, and so I get very anxious about that too. I'm like, oh, people are going to be upset if I don't do this, if I don't do that, and that's what I get in my head about. And so that's another thing. Susie says, I was locked out of my work computer all day yesterday and half the day today before I could get back in. I'm so behind now, my anxiety is through the roof. That's the thing. Like when you don't get things done that you expect yourself to get done, or it's worse if other people expect you, or if you think other people expect you to get them done, then that's when my anxiety gets like, I'm like, please don't let me open the email and have upset people, or please don't let me, open the mailbox and have issues with it, with the mail, or forgot to do this or forgot to. It's hard. It's hard being an adult. It's hard being an adult who runs a business too. I'll say that for sure. But could I do anything else? Would I want to do anything else? Not really. I don't think so. Like if somebody said you could have one job now that you didn't have to worry ever about, but you'd have to do that the rest of your life, and you'd have to work for someone else, and you may or may not like that person. That could be hard. That could be hard, because I've had where I've been more financially stable, but really, really did not like who I worked for. And that can be just as bad, if not worse, I think. So it's a trade-off any way you look at it, right? But I do love our life. I try and keep that in mind too. I love that we get support from all of you out there, and we get to know you. And it's been a joy actually getting to know all of you and getting to see your creativity and be the recipient of those creative gifts that you show us all the time in the Design Challenges group and all over. And watching you all grow and change, and it's really great. And being able to connect with people like this, like if I worked another job, I'd connect with my coworkers probably, and that'd be about it. I'm kind of a homebody, so I would not have the diverse group of people. And in this job and in this life, we can attract the people who match our energy. When you have another job, as I'm sure many of you know, you don't get that choice necessarily. You work with your coworkers, whether someone else is choosing them to be in your life. In this job, in what we do, we're very fortunate that we are able to attract those who match us. And maybe that's a echo chamber, but I don't mind that sometimes. that's kind of good. And the other people who don't match our energy and don't feel the same way we do about things, they seem to fall away, and it's a great thing. Okay, let me catch up on some comments. Anne says, my mom taught me camp stew with big chunks of potato, carrots, and green beans. She put it in a foil with a little water and baked it in the oven. Delicious. That's cool. That's interesting. In foil with a little water and right in the oven. I like that. I bet I could do that depression dinner that way. Anne says, Susie, I hate when our computers don't function at work. So stressful. It is. I've just had some issues, and that's what I hope. I've had some issues with some emails, and I think it's when I work from this older computer. All of our other computers are updated, and I've been finding that when I send some emails, on this computer they show sent, and on my other computers they still end up in the outbox. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's something that's not clicking. I don't know if it's new settings on something else. I don't know, but I found a few of those, and so I've had to rewrite some people and be like, I'm sorry, I thought this sent, because it showed sent in here, but it doesn't show sent over there. And I often use this computer because I'm up here for the lives and stuff. So I think I need to start sending emails and focus on sending emails maybe from the newer computer that we have. We do have one here, at least. We set it up in the dining room to work with the laser and stuff. So yeah, that's been a thing. Sometimes it's really hard, especially when you don't know things are happening. Susie said, I had pasta with fresh cherry tomatoes. That sounds delicious. And says, I did see the almond cat video. It was super cute. Yes, it was. Anna says, we have had a non-snowy winter in Minnesota, relatively warm for winter. Huh. Anna says, I saw the almond kitty. It's so adorable. Yes, it is. Oh, there's Andrew. I just got to Andrew. I don't know how far back I am. Hello, Andrew. Says, we had asparagus, rainbow potatoes, cheesy grits, and tofu bites. Well, aren't you fancy? Be careful with that asparagus, though. Careful with that. Donna Sandra, that sounds delicious. Non-vegetarians had shrimp and grits. That's nice. That sounds good, too. They're feeding you well there, apparently. Amanda says, I saw a video of a kitty that drags her blankie around. So adorable, right? Susie says, I tend to chew on my lower lip when I'm really anxious and can't concentrate on anything. Andrew yells at me for biting on my lip because I do the same thing on my lower lip. I start chewing away at it. And it doesn't help if my lips are already chapped. So yes, I do the same thing, Susie. It's a weird thing, I think, but I'm glad to know I'm not alone. because Andrew yells at me all the time. He's like, stop biting your lip. Like, you're going to rip your lip off. Anna says, that makes total sense to me. I actually did not know I had anxiety until several years ago. Yeah, I didn't know I had it until I had a full-blown like panic attack in the kitchen one time. I was like on the floor, barely breathing or hyperventilating. And then I realized, oh, I probably have anxiety. I mean, I've had those feelings, a lot of that kind of feeling all my life. I got sick to my stomach. Even when I was in elementary school, I would go to gym class, and because I was, picked on a lot, I would get physically nauseous in gym class, thinking about having to be in teams or being picked for teams or having to play team sports. And I still don't like team things. Still terrible at team things. I mean, I'm good kind of once I'm in there, but I get, if somebody says you have to be in a team, my first reaction is physically nauseous. Like, that is my first reaction. My stomach gets upset. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And as Andrew said, that's a trauma response, and it is. But I've had that ever since elementary school, like young. Finally, they would send me to the nurse's office, and then finally the gym teacher, he caught on that it was happening every time. He's like, you are not, you are lying. And I'm like, I'm not lying. I literally am physically feeling sick to my stomach. But back then, boys didn't get sick because of stress or nausea or anxiety. That wasn't a thing. So I was just forced to play, and I hated it. Lennis is here, switch from Facebook. Thanks, Lennis, for joining us. And Drew said it was the full moon too. Well, that probably didn't help things. Yeah, a full moon, I didn't realize that. So that's probably part of my anxiety. That's definitely. Lennis says, I mix rose and lavender with my Tulsi. Nice. I'm not a rose. Lavender would be okay. I have a hard time with usually rose, even lavender. But some lavender stuff is good. Rose, I don't know. Rose is usually too overpowering for me. But I should try it again, because that's been years, and I'm on this kick where, things that I said I didn't like, I'm trying to try again to make sure I really don't, or if that was just something I told myself because I had one bad experience. And it says, I bought these one-use self-heating eye masks. They're for dry eyes, but I think they could be a bit relaxing as well. Nice before bed. Ooh, I might have to try that. Norma says, my brother keeps texting me news story links and writes me long commentaries about them, so my attempts to ignore the news don't always work. My brother's very chatty and difficult to ignore. Yeah, when people start texting me things that are going on in the world, sometimes it's nice because I get to, talk to somebody who also feels the same way I do about things. But sometimes it's just like, I don't need this. But, you also have to stay kind of in tune with things, because that's when problems happen, when you don't. Anne says, Norma, my sister sends me several articles every morning. None of them are good news. Every once in a while, she'll send an email titled palette cleanser. It's always a video of a song. We're like, nice. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to wake up to that stuff too. And that's when I often get on my phone right after I wake up, like before I'm even out of bed. And then I start reading the news. And that is not the way to start the day. Not the way to start the day. Amanda says, we have a provincial election in 2 weeks, and I'm on a rampage to vote out the current government. Yeah, you're having some stuff start up there too, which is, I don't know what's happening, right? Susan says, I step away from the news, but I can't ignore it completely. Gearing up for what is a battle. I know. Andrew says, boy, you're making me sound real good. It's just because I care and don't want you to be bloodied up. Oh, about my lip. No, I said it's good that you do that. But he has to tell me, because I don't realize I'm doing it a lot of the times. No, it's good that he does it. I'm not trying to make you sound bad. You're taking care of me. I know that. But yeah, I'll bite my lip. It'll start bleeding. I'm like, oh, I taste blood. I guess I should stop. And then before I realize it, I'm doing it again on the other side. It's terrible. Amanda says, I'm waiting for my hubby to come in from shoveling the neighbor out across the street. He's done enough today. Oh boy, that's nice of him though. That's nice of him though. Anna says that sounds like the dinners we made on the campfire at Girl Scouts. Yeah, those that'd be. I never was never in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. Might be. I never really wanted to be in them. It's again that team thing. Not so great at it. Probably would have been good for me to be in something like that though. Susan says, one thing I don't miss about the office workplace is the team building exercises. Major yuck sometimes, right? Susan says, I love rose scents. Floral scents, especially roses, are my favorite. I always feel like they're too overpowering in foods and stuff. Andrew says, I love rose. Rose jelly cookies are delicious. I always feel like they're too flowery. But maybe that's just, having them that people didn't know what they were doing. That's another thing too. That often happens. But yeah, so lavender, I don't know. Sue says, I do love this team. AG peeps are the best, right? I think so. Anna says, LOL, Susan, we have a new lead at work who's responsible for all our corrective actions. I get a lot of corrections and team building. Seems contradictory to me. Yeah, how's that same person do both roles, right? I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm glad not to be in the corporate world sometimes. Lots of give and takes with all things, right? But I like what we do. I like who we get to hang out with. It's a good life. Just wish I could get rid of that dang anxiety. That would be nice. Hello, Julie. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Got cactuses and sunshine. Hopefully that was your day. Our day was gloomy and cold and windy. But I did get outside a little bit with Barnaby. That was nice. We hung out, Barnaby and Gilbert. Gilbert for a very short period of time. When it's cold, Gilbert goes out on the porch. He looks around, especially when it's windy. He hates the sound of the wind. So when it's windy and cold, he goes out, he looks around, and then about 2 minutes later, he's asking to go back in. He goes running back in the door. And then he eats a little bit. It's really cute. Both he and Barnaby, when they are outside, when they come in from outside, even if they were out for just a very short amount of time, they go to the food bowl and they eat a little bit. I don't know why. It's like they got energized, and I think it helps them too, just like it helps people to go outside a little bit. And so you think they get a boost of energy or a little manic period, and then they come in and eat. Julie's doing good. Amanda says, he said he needs the exercise and the neighbor isn't as able-bodied, so it's good for both. That's good. Amanda says, I love rose too, and apple and pear. Now, apple and pear, I love those. Yeah. Rose, I need to try it again. I should try it again. Because, sometimes you have that one bad experience or two bad experiences, and you just decide that you don't like it. And that's not always the way. I think you should try to stay open to things. That's what I'm trying to do more of, which isn't easy with my anxiety. Because once you've had something you've said no to, it kind of makes you anxious to do it again. But trying to get better. Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Says, I have severe anxiety and cannot use meds for the potential transplant. It's hard, but I'm doing EMDR therapy and other methods. I don't know what EMDR is. I just know off the top of my head. But that's good. You're trying to cope other ways. I never thought about that with even that with transplant. That would be difficult. Yeah, because I know when it's time to take my anxiety pill. And I take it twice a day. I take it in the morning and in the evening. And in the morning, I often forget to take it until later in the afternoon. And it won't be until my anxiety starts ramping up. And then I'm like, oh, this might be why. Because I didn't take my pill this morning. Because they work pretty quickly for me. I'm thankful for that. And they generally tend to hold me at an acceptable level. You know, I'm on kind of one of the base things that they start you on to try with anxiety, and it's not habit forming. So I've never tried to go with anything more than that because this one works pretty well. And most days it keeps things under control. But if I don't take it at, you know, I should take it at very specific times, and I kind of know when those times are. I really should take it a little bit, like I get up to go to the bathroom in the mornings, obviously, and then go back to bed. I really should take it when I do that, so that when I'm good and ready to wake up, it's already in my system. I found that helps. So I need to really move them upstairs is probably the goal, or at least half of them upstairs for my morning one. And then in the evening, it's usually right toward the end of this live. And usually when I turn off the live, I should just go down and take my pill. Instead, usually I sit up here and I work on spreadsheets and do all that. And sometimes by the time I'm done with all that, usually Andrew's down in the kitchen going, he's like, why are you so upset? And it's not that I'm upset, I'm just anxious. and I haven't taken it yet. So, you know, you got to find what works for you. But I am very thankful for mine. And Nancy, that's hard. I would have a very hard time not being able to take it. So I hope you're finding things that work for you, is the moral of that story. Andrew said, I had a delicious tart made with apples and rose jelly. It was so good. Andrew asks, is that the tapping, the EMDR? I've never looked. Is that tapping? Tapping was something that was helping a little bit. EMDR therapy. Eye movement. I was wondering if that's the eye movement thing. Yeah, I've read about different kinds of eye movement things. And I think one of our friends, she was doing some of that eye movement stuff. She would go into an office and they would blink things on a screen, dots on a screen, and you would have to follow them. At least that was part of it. And somehow that's supposed to really help. So that's interesting. I need to look into that a little more because I don't know what all is involved, if you can do it yourself or if you have to go somewhere and do that. But that would be interesting. That would be nice if that were. I don't know what it is either. I don't know what the findings are that why the eye movement works, but somehow it repositions things or makes you feel positioned. I don't know. She was trying to explain it, and it's been years since she did. And I looked into it years ago, but I never really did much more than that. I just kind of read up on it a little bit. Anyway, we've got some good stuff tonight. Are y'all ready? Let's take a look at some vintage stuff. Andrew picked this stuff out. Somebody picked out, some of it a friend of his sent to him that was closing up shop. And we have some good vintage stuff. Mostly a lot of vintage plastic tonight, vintage glass, and vintage wooden beads. Let's see, and this is eye motion desensitive. No, I can't say that. Desensitization. I don't know why I can't say that. Desensitization. That's the word. Desensitization therapy. I did that, help with decade-old trauma. That's interesting. That is interesting. I have to look into that. Everybody who has told me about it has said that it works really well, or worked really well for them. So that's really interesting. I gotta read into that some more. Or feel free to tell me in the comments more about what it's about if you know. Because if I don't have to do all that research and can hear it straight from people who've gone through it, I would love to know. Susan's very ready. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see here. Let me get the lights on. There we go. It feels very dark in here today. It feels like a dark day in the office. Some days feel darker than others. I don't know why. Okay, so if you'd like to purchase from this video, if you're not if you don't know already, to purchase from this video, take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. So these are the lot numbers. We're going to start with 71 today. We've done 1 through 40, and then 41. We did 1 through 40 on Tuesday, and then we did 41 through 70 yesterday. So we're doing 71 through 100 tonight. All right, so take down that lot number, put it in the subject line or the body of an email, send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's right up here on your screen. And first come, first serve. Many of these, we do have multiple lots available. I didn't even put the numbers on here because I'm just going to say claim and claim and claim. And when we're out, we're out. Because a lot of these I didn't end up counting through. I'll count them out tonight as people claim them and make sure what we've got is what we've got. But it was just it was going to be too much because I don't have Andrew for help. Julie says, I did EMDR for PTSD. You follow moving lights on a light bar while picturing your trauma disrupts the brain's reaction to the trauma. That's interesting. That is interesting. So these are very cool. It's $4 for the lot. And again, I did these because what I do is I usually string these up in the store. So we string them up in strands and they go into our, so they normally look something like this, but I gave you all more. So normally a strand would be probably maybe around that size or that size. So I'm giving you all at least 2 to 3 more beads generally than what you would get in a strand when we strand them up later, just as a little bonus for y'all. So if you claim on this video, you get a little extra. Later on, when I get them all strung up, there's not going to be as many on a strand. So I just wanted to do that for you all, just as a little gift. Instead of lowering the price, I figured I'd include a few extra beads. So this is $4 for these green and white stripies. I love, love, love these. And these are the good vintage plastic. You don't see the seams on these, which is really nice. These are approximately 10.3 millimeters by 11.5. And you're getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them. 14 of them for $4. That's VV71. VV71. What do you think of those? I like those. I'm going to turn on the heater a little more. I'm getting a little chilly. It's getting colder and colder. I'll be right back. I try not to turn it up too much because then I get too hot doing the live. But then I get too cold sometimes. Okay, sorry, I had to take a drink too. Okay, so that's VV71, $4 for the vintage plastic beads. I think these are going to be really popular on the website. They have that cool vintage stripy look. I love that. VV72. Some people like the bigger beads. Look at these big beads. Now these do have some of the seams that you can see on them. But look at those colors. Such a good marbly effect. And if you carefully take some sandpaper or small grit, you can get rid of some of these lines too. This is like marbles, right? They're super cool. They're a little bit, you can see they're a little bit oblong shaped. They're not completely round. So they are approximately 22.5 by 21, about 1.5 millimeters extra on the sides. And you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. If I stranded these up, this would be a strand of those. So there'd be about 5 or 6 in the strand, and I'm giving you an extra 2. Andrew says, real fine sandpaper takes it right off. The higher the number, the smoother the grit. Get that high number sandpaper, and it'll take those seams right off there for you if you want to. VV72, $4 for the lot of 8. Okay. What's next? Ooh, 73. These are nice. This is VV73. This one, normally, yeah, you get about 5 on a strand. You can see the size strands we normally do is like that. And this, you get an extra 2 of these. These beautiful, bright yellow and white drops. And it says it basically sends you through the experience again in your brain while having a therapist stop you once in a while to ground you. Moving your eyes helps your brain reprocess. That's interesting. That's really interesting. VV73 are these nice big in vintage plastic, super light, vintage plastic, vintage acrylic, 16.7 by 31.7. There you go. Lena says, I keep a small piece of 320 wet dry sandpaper or higher on my desk. Works great on old glass beads too. Anna says, those have the Mentos candy vibe. Which ones? The green ones? Are you still on the green ones? I haven't had a Mentos candy in a while. I don't actually remember what they look like. VV73, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads, 7 drops, $4. I wanted to strand these up before because I feel like they look better as strands. They always sell better as strands. When we put things in bags on the floor, they don't sell as well as if we just strand them up. But you all know. You know what they are. I don't have to tell you all. You know this is a good deal for some awesome vintage plastic. Good quality vintage plastic. Look at these. Look at these. Let me put this up here. So I always forget to put this light kind of over here. These are really pretty. Vintage plastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these as well. Love, love, love these. $4 for the lot. This lot has 2 more in it than you would get normally on a strand. Normally it would be $4 for 5 beads. And that's even a little bit big, but 4 would be too small, I think. So we would do that. We always go up if it looks too small. That's the size of vintage plastic strand. VV74. Amanda says, does the sandpaper have a sponge base? Oh, I didn't measure those for you. Let me measure those for you. These are 16.8 by 34.6. Does the sandpaper have a sponge base? It doesn't have to. I think you can get sandpapers We have some different things that have spongy bases, but they don't have to. You can just use regular sandpaper. VV75. You just want a high number sandpaper. Andrew says you can use a sponge one. Just want to make sure the grit is high enough. Look at these. These are fun. So these kind of go with the green ones that were earlier. So there you have the green and the orangey red. More like orange, kind of tangerine color. Aren't those fun together? So that's VV75. This is VV71. If you've forgotten those and you're like, oh, now I want them both. Now that I see them, I do that a lot. I'm like, oh, now that I see it, I want them both. I didn't want them before, but now I want them. Sometimes that happens, right? You see the green, like, ah. Then you see the orange, like, okay, now I've got to have the set. Now it starts, right? That happens. Definitely happens to me. Susan says, kind of like Christmas candy, right? A little bit more orangey in person. On my camera screen, it is looking a little bit more red, but they are orangey in person. And again, these are 10.3 by about 12. And you get 14, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 14 of them for $4. And I don't have numbers listed on here, but we do have multiple lots available of most of these. It's not always a lot. I just didn't do all the counting. So it is first come, first serve. And we're getting a few requests here. We've got some for 72, some for 74, and 75. Thank you so much. Nobody's getting those green ones as the first ones? Those are some of my favorite ones. I don't know why nobody's grabbing them. No worse. There it is. 76. These are cool. VV76. These are sparkly. These are glitter, a gold glitter. Gold glitter. I don't know how many points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12-point little star kind of look on there. Black core with the gold glitter. And these bars are approximately 26.5. I think is that about an inch? Yeah, just about an inch, a little over an inch by about 20. Oops, I did that already. By about 6 millimeters. So they're 6 millimeter round by about an inch long. Yeah, about an inch and a 16th. I like this shape though, it's a cool shape. And these are the gold glitter version. That means we have more in silver, I believe, coming up. So this is the gold glitter. Donna says, wow, VV76 is so cool, right? Have you ever seen that before? Andrew found some good stuff. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. If I were to put these on a strand, they're going to be like that if we don't sell out of them. So you're getting 2 extra compared to what we would sell a strand at for these. Told you, I'm giving you all a little bonus tonight. It's not a lot. We can't always do a lot, but when I can give you a little extra, give you a little extra. And it says, I do love the glitter. We sold a number of 76s. Thank you so much. If you love that one, just wait, everybody. Because now we've got the silver. So these are a little bit lighter in color. Let me get the other ones back out so that I can compare them with you. Let me grab one of them anyway. So I guess they're not really much lighter in color. It's just these are a little bit more smoky colored and these are a bit more clear. So they are a little bit lighter. So this is the gold and this is the silver glitter. It might just have to do with the color of the glitter too. But these are VV77. And again, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. 10 of those. And it says 2 extras a pair of earrings. That's what I figured, right? You're making a little something, 2 little extra beads. That's a whole pair of earrings that you could, if you sell stuff, you can make money on. If you don't sell stuff, that you can have for yourself, right? So, you know, sometimes I feel like we can't do a ton of stuff, but we always try and give you all little bonuses here and there when we can, because we appreciate you all. We try and give you the best prices we can on stuff. VV77. And again, these are, what were they, 23.5, 25.3 by 6. So just about 1 inch and 1/16 by 6 millimeters. We've sold a number of those. Thank you so much. Oh, now you like big and you like pink? Did I hear somebody say they like big and pink? I hope so, because we've got big pink beads. Now these ones, this one was hard to give you 2 extra because that's like, this right there is plenty for a strand, and that's like a whole half a strand extra, but I still did it for you because we still want you all to be happy and get nice stuff. These are big. These are 25 by 32.5. In inches, that's about 1 1/4 inches by just about 1 inch. Look at those massive pink eggs. Call them eggs. They're not really egg shaped. They're ovals, right? I turned my heater up and now I'm drying out. But these are cool. Some of them are a little bit more translucent than others. They just differ. There are, again, no visible seams on here that I can see. So there's a little bit around there. I guess around the one end, probably how they spun it, maybe, I'm guessing. They don't all have that. The lighter ones seem to have it more than the darker. But you will get 6 of those for $4. VV78. I think they're super cool. Especially looking at Easter here. Make some big egg earrings. Oh, probably now this is one of my favorites. I was so happy about this. This is a mixed lot of fruit colors, I call it. They look like the Fruit Loops, right? Fruit colors. You get some orange, you get some pink, you get some yellow. And they're generally 2-tone on each bead. So you get a darker and a lighter shade of those colors. So there's that. And there's that one. Yeah. So you will get an assortment. I'm just picking them out. You don't get any certain number of any certain ones. But you get 5, 10, you get 14 of these as well. 14 of those for $4. Again, that's an extra, I think 2. Let me put these together. I do this by sight when I do these. When I make a strand of these. Yeah, that's probably actually, that might be an extra 3. Normally a strand would be like that. But an extra 2 or 3 on those. And these are approximately 12 millimeters by 10. VV79, $4 only. We've had a number of claims for these. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. These are so much fun. So much fun. Fun. Yeah, these are nice. I was very excited when I saw these. These are my kind of things. Bright colors. What? You kidding me? I love the bright colors. I'm like wearing all black today. I went through a phase in New York where when I moved to New York, because New Yorkers, they talk about New Yorkers wear black. I went through a phase where I wore mostly black. But then I couldn't stand it anymore, and I started accenting it with a lot of colors, and then I just started dressing with a lot of colors. Now here are these. These are a bit darker than the others. They're the same bead as these, but they're not in this mix. They're a little bit darker. So if you want a darker version, these are a beautiful color, these browns and yellows. How vintage is that, right? But also if you're working with your mocha mousse, add these in for a nice little change up in the color brown and add some yellow to that. I think the mocha mousse is going to work really well with yellows, that kind of retro look when you add some other browns together. And so you can definitely add those in two together. And we had some beautiful big, like these, we had these beautiful yellow beads last night. Those would be pretty cool. Blend some black in there too. Where were we had these yellow beads today. Look at that. You could accentuate those, put one on top, make a nice little earring drop out of that, right? So lots of different things you could do with those. They'd even go nicely if you got any of these. Picked any of those up today. Look at how nicely those go together. They're just fun. I love this stuff. It's so fun. And don't look down your nose at vintage plastic. It is a great thing. One, it's great that we can use them. And that they've been found and they're able to be used and not just thrown away. And two, they're really made well. Like you do not see seam lines on these. They're really nice, really well done. Anne says, when I was in high school, my favorite thing to wear was black shirt and skirt with bright tights like hot pink or turquoise. I love that high contrast and bright colors. Me too. I used to wear like very dark black pants, black shoes, and I'd wear a black jacket, like usually, like in the winter, like a black velvet jacket or something. And then I'd have a really bright sweater on underneath, or a shirt, or sometimes just a really bright tie. I do like that pop of color. We sold some of the 80. Thank you so much. Amanda says, black with pops of color looks so good. I think so too, and I think brown is the same way. Brown with pops of color, really nice. Really, really nice. All right, now here's another one of these. This is the yellow version. These are 2 shades of yellow. So you could mix that with either, these are actually in here. So if you want just the yellow, I forgot they were in there too. If you want just the yellows, they're in there. If you want more of the yellow, this could mix in with these, kind of orangey yellow. But you're getting, I think it's still 14, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 14 of those. And again, these are about 12 millimeters by 10. VV81. VV81. All right. Okie dokie. Where are we at here? Okay. Whoa. Now's where I gotta get my bag out. This bag had a hole in it. And now we're gonna move into some of the wooden beads. I think. 81? Yes. 82. Some of the wooden beads. And I should have thought about this. These are all connected. Let me get them disconnected. All right. This is the first strand. There are 3 of these available. Kind of doing this on the fly a little bit. I'm kind of ready. Let's cut that apart. I don't like those long. So these are wooden disc beads. And I don't know how many are on this one. There's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, approximately 26. I don't know if they're all exactly the same. I think they are. There's about 26 beads. They may, depending on if some of the beads are thicker or skinnier, you might have a few more, a few less, but it won't be drastically different than that. And these are about 20 millimeters. And I just think they're super fun. And I can imagine making a lot of cool earrings. Like if you took one of these and set one of these, or maybe one of these on top, right? Like that, or sandwiched maybe one of these in between two of these. I think that'd make a cool earring. I think there's a lot of things you could do to play around with these. And they're super light, so you don't have to worry about weight with these. This whole strand I could probably make an earring out of. They're super duper light. So there are 3 of these available. VV82. And where are my bags? Where are my bags? There they are. Cindy says, hope you're staying toasty out there, William. I'm trying. It's chilly right now. I love wooden beads. Me too. Okay, so that's 82. And let me pull out the next one. This is 83. Is this light green color. There are 2 of these available. 2 strands of these available. $5 for the strand. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. Around 26, 27, 28, if I counted right. VV83. Again, these ones are, whoa, come on, about 19 millimeters. And they vary in thickness, but let's just grab one here by about 3. VV83. Super cool, beautiful color here. It's like kind of a turquoise color. I think these would be great making earrings out of them. Or just in groups in a necklace, like a chunk of those in a necklace together. I think it'd be super cool. VV83, $5 for the lot of vintage wood beads. I think Andrew was thinking a lot of you were asking for kind of disc or hishy beads. He found some of these, so he grabbed them in. Hopefully you like them. This is VV84. There is only one of these in this color. And so this is the 2 greens together. This was 83, and this is 84. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 on that strand. It all just depends, I think, on their thickness. VV84. And that one has sold. Thank you so much. I'll put it away since there's only one of those. I just think these are so cool. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, these are great for earrings. I hope somebody tries it. I mean, okay, so I just sat these with, this happens to be on my desk, but imagine a pearl like that sandwiched in between 2 of those to make an earring. Like, how, that's beautiful. And maybe you'd stack, like, maybe you could stack a few of them together, like not just one, but let me see if I can do this. It's hard because I don't want to take these strands apart. What if you'd stack 2 or 3 of them together in between? It's probably not going to let me. But you could stack them in between and make an earring. I think it'd be super cool. I know what I might be doing at the store tomorrow, part of the day. If these don't sell, I'm making some earrings. Okay. VV85. Whoops. Let go. Let go. This is the black strand, and there are 4 of these available. 4 of these available. We just sold an 83. Thank you so much. This is VV85. In the black, 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 of those. Those are a little thicker. We just sold an 82. Thank you so much. VV85. I love the black. And boy, wouldn't those look good with these pearls, these glass pearls. Look how luxe those earrings would be, putting those together. Oh, super nice colors. But you could also do them, with some just little silver spacers in between, or some gold spacers in between, just to separate them just a little bit with a hint of color in there. Stack them up nice and good and tall. Because like I said, you could probably, I mean, it's a slight exaggeration to say this could be an earring, but for some people that could probably, it's not hardly any weight at all. That could be, for some people, might be okay with that. It's a little heavy, but you could stack up a good number of these together and make some funky earrings with that. VV85, we've sold 1 of those so far. Thank you so much. We have 3 of them left. Get in that bag. Get in there. Ooh, I like these next ones. VV86 are these kind of green-blue. They're a green-blue color. There are 3 of these available. Look at that. Are they green? Are they blue? They're a little bit of both. They remind me of turquoise, that when you get a combo strand. VV86. And on this one, there's 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 26 of them on there, approximately. Let's see here. Well, some are about 20 millimeters, some are about 19. So 19 to 20 millimeters. And let me just show you the other 2. These are such a pretty color. Look at that. Oh, favorite of the wooden beads so far. VV86. That would go good with so many colors. You can match that with gold. You can match that with silver. I definitely like a champagne pearl would look gorgeous. Let me pull those pearls out again just so you can see. These are kind of a champagne color. Look at that together. Really pulls out that kind of that blue in there. The blue really stands out with those. The green kind of blends in. VV86, we have 3 of them available. We've sold 1 of them so far. Thank you so much. Trying to see if we have some fine pewter beads that are just beads, like rounded beads, and some things that we don't show off too often because they're kind of like spacers. I don't know why we don't show them more often. but that would go cool with those too. I have one in my head right now I'm thinking about, but I don't have any here to show you. So why talk about it, William? Right? Why am I doing that? All right. This is VV87, and there are 3 of these in this kind of more natural yellowish color. And on this strand there are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 35. These are thinner. There's about 35 on the strand on that one. VV87, $5. All these strands are approximately 4 inches. That's why they have various numbers on them, numbers of beads, because it all depends how thick the beads are. But the strands are generally about 4-inch strands, just for y'all to know. That's why I keep saying, probably like, this is dubious. They got a different number of beads. It's just because of the thickness of the beads. These are pretty thin, these yellowish ones. And these are the other 2 strands, just to show you. They feel so good too. You've got that lovely kind of warm feeling of wood, very light. VV87. And coming up, VV88. Grab one of these off of here. This is, whoa, the smaller diameter. These are about 14.5 millimeters. Still a 4-inch strand. VV88 in this deep red color. Oh, I love this combo. I love those colors together. Boy, these pearls are just good for all of these right now. Maybe not so much the yellow. I don't know if I would do. I don't know if I'd do that. But everything else, go for it. Even the ones at the beginning, I don't know if I showed those. Those would be beautiful too. I like how the pearls look even more green sometimes with certain colors. I don't know if it's doing that on your screen or not, but they're really like they're not green, but they have that green tint when you put them with some things. VV88, $5 for those. Little mini wooden saucer beads. And, oops, I didn't say we have 3 strands of those. Did I say that? I didn't write it. I didn't write it. I'll be looking later. All right. That's a pop of color right there. That's vivid. Vivid. I love that kind of blood red color. That blue red, the deep blue red. It's not an easy color to find all the time. It's almost like a purpley red. Really pretty. Okay. And that's, I think, it for the wooden beads. Yep, we're moving into some vintage plastic again. VV89. Oh, we just sold one of the 88s. Thank you so much. This is 89. These are these purple beads with the white kind of marbling effect in them. Kind of a jasper-like look. You're getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You get 14 of those as well. And these ones are approximately 10 millimeters by 13.5. Really pretty color. Love that marbling in there. You don't really see the seam lines in these, which is really nice. Again, that good quality vintage plastic. And there you go, VV89. Multiple lots of those available. $4. You're getting an extra 2 beads or so on that you normally wouldn't get. That was a bonus tonight. Most of our vintage plastic strands, as I said, you're getting a little extra than you normally would. Now here, these are Czech glass, vintage Czech fire polished drops in amethyst. And I thought these were S-word at first. They're so nice, but they're not. They are marked as Czech glass. They are really, really pretty. It's hard for me to even hold these. My hands are big. But you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're getting 12 drops. For $6. 50 cents a drop. Oops, I got a cat hair on there. 50 cents a drop. We've only got 12 lots of these available. These are all vintage. They came in one of those little vintage trays. Have you ever seen those little vintage trays of beads? They're so cute. And the holes through the top up there. Vintage Czech glass, amethyst, faceted briolettes. $6 for 12. What a good deal, I think. Really good deal on those. 50 cents a bead. That's the kind of thing that you don't have to worry so much. I know people are always afraid of using briolettes because they don't want to snap the tops off. Now, if you're working with S-word and gemstones, you worry about that a lot, right? But at 50 cents a bead for these, you got a bunch of them. Get 12 of them for $6. You can practice your wire wrapping on the briolettes. That's a good, use them for something too, but it's good to practice on these instead of your like $60, $70, $80 a strand gemstones, right? That's what I think. We've sold 2 of those so far, so we have 10 lots still available. Thank you so much. VV91. These are cool. I have 8 lots of these available. Oops. Hold on one moment. I forgot to put that bag back in its other bag. Look at those. Look at those fun things. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 25 of these for $5.25. So if I were to lay that out in a strand, I don't know how long that would be. I didn't measure. I just said 25 seems like a good number. It was divisible by the number of them that I had. And I'm like, let's treat the people. But let's see how far these go. What size strand is that? I love the design on these too. Like, look at that. It's like a little sun. And they're a beautiful, like opalite glass. They're an opalescent glass. Sorry, but I have to do this. I have to see. Because I think for vintage Czech glass, I think you're getting a really good deal. Sometimes when you see them, like I said, laid out, people don't get it. Okay, so that's 8.5 inches. So it's an 8.5 inch strand, give or take a 1/16 of an inch or so. More like give. A little over 8.5 inch strand, $5.25 of these beautiful opalescent glass beads with the gold finish. Look at them shine. Look at them shine. I don't think, Do they glow? They don't glow. I like to check old glass with a black light just in case. I didn't get to do that earlier. But you get 25 beads, VV91, $5.25 each only. That's an 8.5-inch strand of vintage check glass for less than $6. Normally we do that for about $6, $7, $8, depending on the design and the material. Look at that. Some of them are more transparent than others. Translucent. Translucent's the word. Some of them are more translucent than others. So you can see this one's a little bit less. But you'll get some of each in each lot. 25 beads, $5.25. And the size of each bead is about 6.8 by 9.6. So about 9.5 by 7 millimeters. Make it easy, rounding it. So pretty. We have 8 of those available. We've sold 1 only so far, so we have 7 of them still left. I'm surprised we've only sold 1. Those are some of my favorites tonight. All right. All right. You just never know. You never know. I picked those because I was like, I love these. Sometimes people don't. It's all right. Plus, I know a lot of you want to see what else is here for tonight, right? Let's see what else is happening. All right, we had some yellow before, so I had to do some more yellow. Apparently Andrew had to as well. These are vintage Japanese. Vintage Japanese. Yellow, bright yellow beads. Look how sunshiny day those are. So cute. Some of them are a little wobbly. They're vintage glass from Japan. Let's see. No, there's a tag in here. I gotta see if it says anything or not. Oh, can't get to it. It's buried in here. I don't want to dump everything out. Okay, so I don't know if it means anything to anyone, but this is Orion brand made in Japan. So old Japanese, vintage Japanese beads. You get the same, I think there's 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I think there's 25 of them in there. That seems to check. 25, 10 lots available, $4 a lot, VV92. And these are generally 7.5 millimeter rounds. I feel like Japanese beads are often 7.5 or 8.5. Like they always have a half. 7.5 millimeters. I seem to have noticed that about Japanese beads. And they're so bright yellow, so much fun. Again, if you got some of that yellow from yesterday, it's a little brighter. You can combine yellows. Or, let's see, where's that yellow today? Some of that yellow today, mix and match the yellows. This is a very bright yellow. We have a strand like this. We have strands like this in the store that are from Western Germany. They're vintage German and they're this bright neon kind of yellow. And it's a more rare color. It's not, I shouldn't say this because it's harder to maybe sell, but it's not able to be matched very easily. You have to combine it with other things. If you're trying to find it to go with another yellow, it's not easy, but it does go well with a lot of other colors. And it is one of those colors, like I said, you don't see as often. It's such a bright, vibrant yellow that you're not going to have people making the same thing as you, which is nice, because they're not going to be able to have those beads. The ones we have in store are their graduated strands. I don't know if we have any left or not. We got them years ago, and it took a while. Like I said, I don't know if we still have any or not. It took a while to sell through them because they are very particular. But people who've used them, some people have come back for more because of that. And it says, I used some of those beads with the vintage Chinese porcelain. That's cool. That would work. Yeah, you got to kind of match them with things that you don't expect, right? You can't really match the yellows. It's harder. Look at these. These have an AB finish on them. So they're vintage plastic with an AB finish, and they're such a unique, cool shape. So this is VV93. Like, that shape is awesome. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of them for $4. Check that out. So cool. VV93. You sold one of those so far. Thank you so much. Let me get you a size on these. These ones, this is technically, let's see, hole to hole. They're about 14 millimeters. And then the other way, they're about 14 millimeters. So while they're a little bit funky, they are about 14 by 14 overall. Who has those? Who has those? We do. That's about it. Sold another bunch of those. Thank you so much. Sold some of the 92s. Thank you so much. Try and give you things here that people don't just have. Makes your designing life easier. Now, I said we have the vintage S-word sew-on beads. And these are different from some sew-on beads because I feel like these are double-sided kind of. Sometimes the sew-on beads have the flat back. You can't do much other than sew them onto things. But these are vintage S-word sew-on beads. They have 2 holes. They've got a dimple in the middle. And they're vintage S-word. These are the amethyst. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them for $5. And these could easily be used for other things. Like, you could jump ring these together and make a beautiful, think of the chain or the bracelet chain. You could make, just jump ring those together, S-word bracelet, right? Using these sew-on beads. You could, of course, sew them onto things. That's a thing. But chain them together, make yourself a bracelet out of that. That would be beautiful. Use them as earring dangles. These are so much more multi-purpose than some of the other sew-on beads we've seen. And $5 for 12 of them. There are only 12 lots available. VV94. And size-wise, these are about 10 millimeters by, let's say 15. 10 by 15 millimeters. Vintage S-word. Aren't those cool? What do you think? Okay, where's my one now? You like those, everybody? I think they're gorgeous. I think I'm gonna make a bracelet out of those. I like that idea. Who else is gonna do that? Who's gonna have that? VV95. More of the sew on, this time in cyan. Cyan color. 12 of them again for $5. VV95. Check those out. Aren't they cool? What do y'all think? You like those? Let me see. I was going to show you the old S-word crystal packets they come in, but I didn't pack them here with me. I must have left them downstairs. I was working downstairs on the table to get this show ready tonight. Y'all still out there? Everybody's so quiet. Nobody's buying these. I guess nobody wants those. I'm surprised. Really surprised. Oh, we just sold a 95. Thank you so much. At least I know somebody's out there. You don't like these? I don't know. I think they're a good deal. Vintage S-word VV95. Maybe y'all don't like S-word so much. I know you do, though. I know you do. Okay, 95. Where's 96? Anna says, I like them. Need to see all the colors. You have. That's it. We were only able to get the cyan and the amethyst. The cyan and the amethyst. That is all we've got. Moving on. VV96. Back to some vintage plastic. Are these? Check these out. VV96. You get 4 of them for $4. These ones I couldn't do much extra. Our margin on these are pretty low. Our margins on these are pretty low. So I couldn't throw in extras like I was the other ones. These are a bit more expensive for us. But look, nice, big. Let me see, they're about 14 millimeters by 35.8, so about 36. In inches, that's about 1.5 inches by about 1/2 inch. And they glow in a purpley, light purple kind of color. And this is big guns, right? They are, they're big. And I don't know what it was about these, but they are definitely more expensive for us to bring in. So we don't have as many of these. I don't know if it's the coating that's on them, that kind of gold coating, just the beads. They are bigger beads. But these are more expensive. I think they're also cool. 2 millimeter holes approximately on those. VV96. These I didn't write the number available, but these have lesser available of these as well. I just didn't count them all out yet. VV97 are these ones. Same ones, but in green this time. Green with the gold. If you got those ones from last night that are green and gold, I wonder how those would go together. Let's take a look. I just happen to have some of those beside me still. Look at those. If you got those from last night, Look how nice those are together. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Combine and combine. Combine the powers, y'all. If you didn't get those last night, these are VV70s. Few people grabbed them, but not many. So if you like those together. Lena says, I want more of the clear ones I bought from you like that. Don't got clear, sorry. Those, unless we had more, they're gone. Unless we had more, they are gone. So that's VV97. We sold some of the 96s. Thank you so much. Anybody wants the green? 97 is available. Limited quantities on these. Once they're gone, I don't know if we'll ever see these again. And 98, this is the last color of these that we have available. This one in the purple. This one in the purple. Look at those. Ooh, so royal. That's a royal purple right there. I just have these. Andrew made this necklace with these. Look at that. Maybe not. They look good from across. I don't know. I'm torn. They look good from across, but they look more blue when I hold them up against this. It's such a deep purple. It's such a deep purple. But I bet, let's see. Did you get these pink beads? They'd be pretty with those pink beads if you got those last night. Those vintage Japanese. Ooh, they'd be really pretty with those. Oh, where are the other ones? Where are the other ones? Wait. These. Now, I know we didn't sell out of these yet, for whatever reason. But look at that. Ooh. Look at those together. How nice is that? Oh, there's an earring. There's a set of earrings right there. In case you missed those last night, VV65. They're only $3.25 for 5 beads. So that would be those, like 5 beads. $3.25. We have limited quantities on those, but look how great those go together. Let's make another pair of earrings right there, like that. Or maybe you like yours symmetrical. I don't so much, but there you go. VV98. So pretty. Both of these. These are pretty. These vintage glass. And these are pretty. VV98. Wow, no takers on 97. Nobody wants the green. I sold one of the 98s, the purples. I sold some of the reds, but nobody wants the green. That's the set. That's all we've got of those. So you've got the red, the green, and the purple. 96, 97, and 98. 96, 97, and 98. That's the set of those if you want to collect them all. I have a habit of that. I have a hard time not collecting a set when I see a set. I don't know if that's the same for all of you or not. I do have a hard time with that. All right, 99, going to some vintage glass. Tomorrow's show, if I can get to it, it's going to be hard because Andrew's not going to be home. And I'm going to be at the store, and I know I have people coming into the store tomorrow. I don't know for how long. So we're going to see. But tomorrow's show should be mostly vintage Czech glass. A lot of fire polished Czech glass. So we're ending this show, the last 2 lots, with some vintage glass. These are these Picasso finish, but they have the 3 sides chopped off. I love these. These were popular when we had them before. I don't know what this cut is called. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I don't know what it's called. But these are approximately, I'm going to say about 8mm beads, 7.5 to 8mm beads. And these are these gorgeous kind of amber brown. That would go with your mocha kits. That would go with all of your mocha stuff. These are vintage check glass. And they're $4.50 per lot. And there's 4, whoa, come on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's 25 beads again, 25 beads for the lot at $4.50 each. Look at them glow. They put that Picasso finish all the way around, and then they table cut the 3 sides away to reveal the glass underneath. And I need, let's see here, let's grab one of these. It's gonna be enough. I'm gonna put some on a strand here real quick, so you can see kind of what they look like. Here's what they kind of look like strung up. Gorgeous stuff for bracelets. They had that bit of flash if you're putting them in a necklace or a bracelet. Beautiful beads. 25 of them for $4.50 each only. VV99. Where'd that one go? There it is. 12 lots of those available only, and then they're gone. No more. No more. And the last lot for tonight, VV100. See, these beads are almost like Pokemon, right? You gotta collect them all. Gotta collect them all. These are beautiful. Black. Let me see. The hole. Find the hole. The hole is there. So these are like, I don't know. They're like little craters. They're like, I don't know what the design, like, they look like little craters, like little moons. So the hole on them is there. And then they've got these like craters in the middle surrounded by 4 dots. And they've got that on each side. They remind me of those French beads, those vintage French beads, antique French beads that Andrew's always talking about, the carved ones. They kind of have that feel to them. But you get, I think there's 25 here too. 5, 10, 15, 20. You get 25 of them for $4. Whoa! Oh well, to find that one. 25 of them for $4 only. Nice, interesting black bead. You can never have too many natural, neutral black beads, right? Neutral color, but very interesting. VV100. Grab that one that fell. There we go. And that's the last lot for this evening, y'all. Feels like we're ending so early, but with me just doing this by myself, it's a little harder. Plus making dinner. I just have to heat up dinner at least tonight, but it's hard for me to go late. Plus I gotta be up early tomorrow. Early tomorrow to go to the store, get some grocery shopping done in the morning. All right, let me flip this camera around. Oh, hello everybody. I think that was a good show. What do you think? Mostly, I don't know. Was there anything over $5? There's a $6 one tonight. Nothing over $6 tonight, though. I don't think. So that's a pretty good deal, I think, for everything. Let's see. Donna says, thank you so much, William. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone. You too, Donna, and everybody else. I hope you all have a great evening. I'm going to get some of this sorting done tonight. Ooh, yeah. Get some of the sorting done. I'm going to take a bunch of stuff to the store tomorrow and work on some things there, and hopefully have a bunch of packages to go out starting on Monday. That's the goal. That's what I've been working on all this week that I haven't really been talking too much about, but I've been doing a lot of sorting and packing in tissue paper. If you've gotten orders from us, you know that everything is packed up in tissue paper. If I could just take your orders, throw them in plastic bags and throw them in a box, that would be so much easier, but I feel like that's not right. So we repack everything, and that's what I've been working on this week. So I should have a number of things going out very soon for a lot of you next week. And yeah, I'm excited. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Hopefully my email will work. I'm going to try and start emailing from the other computer and not this one. Just because that's a whole thing that seems to be happening right now. I have to see, maybe restarting this will do something, I don't know. But anyway, if you have a question, send us an email. I seem to be getting emails okay. If you don't get a response from me, please send another email and say, hey, did you get it? A nice email. But let me know, because it may be stuck in the outbox. It's been happening. But I'm going to try and sort that out when I get a moment, a free moment. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Donna says, I love the way everything is packed. I do too. That's why I do it. I know a lot of companies, we've ordered stuff and it just comes everything thrown together, and it's like they do a Hail Mary and they hope for the best and they put it in the mail. I feel guilty doing that. I would feel terrible if something happened to some of your stuff doing that. If something happens to some of your stuff the way we pack it or the way I pack it, generally that was a major thing that happened through the mail. And that's, you know, if that happens, that happens. There's nothing to stop that. But if I just threw your stuff all together and just hope for the best, I wouldn't feel good about that. It would go faster, and I would have less anxiety about what kind of packaging to use and boxes to use. And we've talked about that before, but it just wouldn't feel right. So, you know, we like to take care of y'all, and you know, that means taking care of your things, because once you've purchased them, they're no longer ours, right? They're no longer ours. They belong to you. And once they're bought, from the moment they're purchased all the way through the sorting and the packing and the shipping, we try to treat them as though they are not ours, which means treating them even better than we treat our own things. And that's what's important to us, you know. We want to take care of your things, and we want you to have nice things. And it says, thanks, like when you do examples of how to use the beads. I think that helps sometimes. I don't always have a lot here, and it's hard for me to do that kind of on the fly with what I have sitting around me. I would do it more often if we weren't so busy. If I had like 3 of me, and one of me could just prepare for these lives, we could have so many examples of how to use all this stuff. Unfortunately, that's not yet possible. Maybe science will help us out with that someday. But right now, I have one of me. And there's not even an Andrew here to help me this week. So I do hope that some of that helped, at least with what I had, the little bit that I had here on the desk. Donna says, and I reuse the box and paper. Good. I hope you do. I feel bad sometimes using so much tissue paper, but I don't like to hear things rattle in a box. If it's rattling, I feel like that makes people nervous when they receive it. I never want to get a package where I shake it, and we get a lot of these, believe me, but I hate getting packages when you shake it and you're like, is something broken or something smashed or something, you know? It sets my anxiety up right away, and I already get that like feeling like, I'm going to open this and it's going to be terrible. And I don't want you to have that feeling when you get a package from us. I want you to be like, oh, I can barely hear anything. It must be packed well. Everything's going to be safe when I open it. That's what I like. That's what I like. And it says, it's nice even if it's what you were selling in the show. Yeah, I try to, you know, some of these, Andrew does the buying. I don't get I mean, I can have input in the buying, but most of the time I don't have a huge input in the buying. Sometimes he'll ask me, what have you heard people looking for? But most of the time he's been in on these lives. He knows what you're all asking for. The total request lives help us to know what you all are looking for, and he can tailor some of that. So he does most of the buying for the store. And when I get things, I'm often surprised about what we're getting. So it is nice that way. And as I'm sitting here, I can show you things that go together that we're selling if I have them. I still had some lots that I need to sort from last night that I haven't quite sorted fully out yet. So I had some of those sitting here, and the other lots, though, from the night before are already put away. So I'm pretty well on top of things, which is nice, and it's working out in the new system. I'm just waiting to get through some backlog of stuff, and then things should start happening much faster, hopefully. It all depends on me and my schedule, and if anything happens. You take one day away from what I thought I was going to do in that day, and it can throw a kink in things, but getting better, getting better. Susie said it's snowing, everything is covered. Oh no. Oh my goodness, yes it is. I saw it by the light. Oh no. And I was going to go out and go to the cottage tonight. Well, I was going to run up to the cottage, but I think if I run up in the morning before I go to work, which I go past it anyway, the pellet stove will still be going, I hope. I put 2 bags in yesterday. That usually should last 2 days. Now, what time yesterday I did that, I can't remember. Well, if I have to start it in the morning, I'll start it in the morning. But I think we'll be okay, because I don't really want to go out in this. I think I'm in for the night now. I was thinking I was going to go out and maybe grab some stuff, but Dollar General is going to be closed by the time I get there, and the grocery store is already closed, and there's snow all the way to the cottage, and who knows what the roads are like. So I'm not doing that. Anyway, hopefully y'all have a great evening. We're heading into Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. I have people in the store coming that I know are coming. Hopefully they're still coming with the weather. They're traveling from about an hour and a half away. But I do have to do a few things. Whew. Anyway, I'm excited. If you're in Johnstown tomorrow, stop in and say hi, and I'll see you then. Or else I'll see you on the live tomorrow night. Like I said, I'm hoping to have vintage check glass mostly tomorrow night. That's if the way it's sent when it's vintage is not always, like, as you can see, some of these, they're not strands. Some of them came on strands, but the strands are falling apart. Some of them don't come in strands at all. I am not going to be stranding a bunch of stuff up, so they're going to be coming like this to you in a lot of cases, but I hope you don't mind. They'll be little baggies. But we'll have lots tomorrow, and we'll probably do 30 or 40 lots tomorrow again, and that'll be our vintage week. There's still probably going to be more. I don't think we'll get through it all tomorrow, but that'll finish up our week anyway. All right, everyone. I'm just rambling. So thank you all so much for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you back here around 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know when Andrew's supposed to get home. He might be able to join us. I know his classes end early tomorrow, and if he gets on the road early enough, he might be here for the live. We'll see, but I'm not counting on it. So I'll see you here tomorrow, and I hope all goes well tonight, and you have a great day tomorrow. We'll see you around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Bye, everybody.